Hi everyone and happy spring. I know when I saw you guys all at the beginning of the school year, one of the very first things we learned about were frogs and the frog life cycle. So we talked about how the creature changed so much over time. It started in an egg, became a tadpole, then it became a froglet, and then a frog. And then it's called a cycle. It goes in a circle because the frog lays an egg that hatches into a tadpole, froglet, frog, egg. And I wanted to talk about another life cycle that changes just as much. So some life cycles don't change as much. Our life cycle doesn't change so much. So we are not born in an egg. We're never a caterpillar or a tadpole. We don't grow new body parts. So we're born a baby and we look like a little teeny human and we become a bigger human, and then we can have another baby human, and it's a life cycle. But some life cycles have a lot of changing in them. The butterfly life cycle is another one that changes just about as much as the frog one does. So at the beginning of the year, it was kind of the fun time to talk about frogs. This is the fun time to talk about butterflies. And you'll start to see them around. Remember, they're pollinators, so they're waiting for these flowers to be out. A butterfly is born. There's a couple different butterflies. We've got a monarch, and I think that's a tiger swallowtail. I don't know what the other two are, but they're beautiful. They fly from flower to flower, drinking nectar with their long tongues. Okay, see that? It's a big long tongue. That's called their proboscis. Proboscis. Where do butterflies come from? A butterfly begins its life as a tiny egg. So those eggs are on leaves. Let's say a leaf this big. So think of how tiny those little eggs are. And there's a real close-up of one. Got stripes. The egg hatches in a few days. Look at it starting to hatch. And out comes a caterpillar. Does a caterpillar look like a butterfly? Not really. The young caterpillar's very hungry. It eats its eggshell. Then it starts to eat leaves. It eats many leaves. The caterpillar eats and grows and eats and grows. Look how big this caterpillar has grown. And caterpillars actually grow out of their skin, so they get so big that they wiggle out of their little skin, just like clothes that don't fit you anymore. And that happens a few times. Now the caterpillar's ready to change. It hangs from a branch. And you see it's attached itself right up there. Slowly it forms a hard shell. The caterpillar turns into a pupa. From outside, the pupa looks very still. But inside, much is going on. Can you see what's happening? After some time, out comes a butterfly. The butterfly's wings are wet and crumpled. But in a few hours, they dry and start to fill out. Now the butterfly's wings are strong, and the butterfly can fly. Where do you think this butterfly is going to go? So if you were a butterfly, where would you go? That would be a fun story to write. All the things that that butterfly sees now that it can fly. So much different than being a small little caterpillar. So that change is called a metamorphosis, when a creature changes so much from caterpillar to butterfly, or from tadpole to frog. And we know some other life cycles too, right? We've got the life cycle of a chicken. Egg, baby chick, grows feathers to be a big chick, lays an egg. We've talked about life cycles of a plant and an apple tree at the beginning of the year. So it starts as a little seed and it grows roots in a shoot. Then it grows leaves. Eventually it grows a flower so that it can be pollinated to grow a fruit. The fruit falls and leaves its seeds in the ground so that can happen again. So many life cycles. This week, you could use some paint or crayons or markers if you like, and I'd love to see you create a life cycle. Make it as beautiful as you can, and it can be any of those creatures we just talked about, a flower or a dandelion or a frog or a butterfly or a chicken. And let's label it and see what all those stages look like. I'd love if you would share them. If you've got time for one more book, I've got a great book about butterflies. It's called Butterflies Fly. Fly is a verb. It's something the butterflies can do. It's an action. So how would you look if you were a butterfly flying? I guess you don't quite soar like this, huh? You kind of flap your big wings. So that's something I can do. I can fly, and that's a verb. Listen in this story, and there's going to be a lot of verbs. And maybe we'll do some of them. Butterflies fly in a dancing white cloud that covers the fields in a gossamer shroud. That's how butterflies fly. Butterflies move like dancers in step, lavish in ball gowns. A minuet. That's how butterflies fly. Butterflies glide by meandering streams, reflecting the world in colorful dreams. That's how butterflies fly. Can you guys glide? What's a glide? How do you glide? Stand up and slide from one side to the other? I just glided into a bush. Butterflies waltz in cloaks that gleam, studded with jade and emerald so green. That's how butterflies fly. Butterflies frolic in the brisk autumn breeze, mingling with colors that fall from the trees. That's when butterflies fly. Butterflies rest on blossoms in spring, while crickets chorus and small birds sing. That's when butterflies fly. Butterflies take wing in the first morning rays, transforming the world with brilliant displays. That's when butterflies fly. Butterflies sip. Can you guys all sip? Where tree frogs creep, in gullies so gloomy, in shadows so deep. That's where butterflies fly. Butterflies soar. Can you all soar? What does that look like to soar in the air? In mountains so high, where icy streams flow and peaks touch the sky. That's where butterflies fly. How about that for a landform? It's a big icy mountain. Butterflies settle on leaves beneath trees, camouflaged patterns that mimic and tease. That's where butterflies fly. Butterflies unfold their swallow-tailed wings, bedecked and bejeweled like crowns fit for kings. That's why butterflies fly. Butterflies hover. Boy, a lot of these are hard verbs to do because our bodies aren't butterfly bodies. I don't know that we can hover. What is to hover? To float just above the ground. In soft morning light, a fragrant ritual of amorous flight. That's why butterflies fly. Butterflies dance. We can do that verb. Dance. Butterflies dance. I think they dance a lot differently than us. Are you still dancing? Are you ready to see them dance? Let's see. Butterflies dance in crimson gowns, weaving splashes of color to rainforest sounds. That's why butterflies dance. Butterflies paint a palette so bright. I asked you guys to paint a life cycle. A gift to the world, a symphonic flight. That's why butterflies fly. I think these are painted ladies. So anybody raising butterfly eggs right now, this is probably what you're raising. It's a painted lady. We'll see these all around. They live in this area. Oh, surprise! That's the end of the book, but I got excited because as I read this book, I wasn't sure what all the different butterflies were. So this is going to tell us. So there was one that was very interesting I want to show you. Of course, it's the one that doesn't tell me what it is. Oh, let's do a fritillary, huh? Well, yes, this is a painted lady, so I was right. And then this one, I don't know the name of. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, so this is a Cocomort Blue, and it's from Central America. And it lives in the rainforest areas. And see how it's got this big dot on it? So these are neat. When they spread open, that means it's got 2 dots. And those dots look a lot like, that's right, eyes. And so if you were trying not to be eaten as a butterfly, you might have this great big false eyeball on your wing that can scare predators away. I think that's a really neat defense technique that they've got. So enjoy making a life cycle. It doesn't have to be a butterfly. I was just in the mood to think about butterflies, but it could be chickens or frogs or plants. So I can't wait to see it. Paint it or draw it or make it out of paper or build it with Legos, whatever is most special to you. And go ahead and label it so that we know each stage, and I'd love to see your life cycles.